So good to see you too.
How's it going?
Good, good. Just came back from a long business trip.
You know, it's a little bit weird being on this side since welcoming you.
I know. Usually it's the other way around.
Yes, you're as president. I see some friends in this one. David.
Yeah, that's David, and then our university leaders visiting us just a couple months ago. Every time I come back to the space, it feels like it's a piece of campus, a piece of Cornell in Beijing.
I remember coming here for a talk about Blue and White Porcelain. It's very impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple months ago, we had a really exciting event that we brought 3 different professors. Yeah. Professor Steve Gaskin came from the US, graduated from MIT, and he actually donated 900 pieces of porcelain shards to our Palace Museum, as well as 2 professors from the Palace Museum also attended the event and provided insights on how to identify these shards, which ones are real and which ones are inauthentic. Our alums felt like it's a really good treat to see these shards in person and with these 3 experts showing us what's the differences as well as the dynamic of these Yuan dynasty treasures.
And asking what made these activities so special wasn't just hearing both American and Chinese professors, but also sharing thoughts with people from all over the world.
Yes, as the Cornell Club of Beijing president, when I choose different club events and themes, I do try to find the bridge that really connects these two cultures, these 2 countries.
Even though I'm Chinese, but there are a lot of terms I haven't heard before, so after a while I'd be like, what does it mean? And quickly look it up. So I think it's very meaningful.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
So when did you become the president of the association?
Back in 2019. So I was involved since 2016 with the Cornell Club of Beijing. Right. Yeah. So with Cornell, we will have all types of events for the alums. Some are that the school delegated for us to host. So the student send-off events, for example. Yeah. Newly admitted students, they would attend our event before they go to campus in September.
You really have passion, and it's such a contrast because you put up big events and you also care about the little details.
And then besides that, I'm also helping the university interview from undergraduates through the CAN program, as well as the graduate school program between Cornell and Tsinghua Wudao for their finance MBA. Seeing these prospective students, how they connect the business worlds between China and the US.
You grew up in the States and you came back to Beijing for part of elementary school. Why? And did it take some getting used to?
Yeah. I moved to the US when I was 2.5 years old to Boston. My parents, we spoke Chinese at home.
So your Mandarin was pretty good?
It was okay. So I actually went to a bilingual school in Boston, but they taught traditional characters and Cantonese. Yeah. So when I moved back when I was 10 and went to elementary school in Beijing, my fellow classmates were, this US kid has a Cantonese accent. And so they were...
It's very interesting.
Very interesting, yeah.
But now at alumni events, you can greet everyone with multiple languages, just like hello, 你好, and 大家好.
Yeah, I'll tell them 唔使聽唔使講.
So after that, you moved back to the US for working life, but you came back to China again in 2015. So why? And why did you make that decision?
We felt that timing is right when my wife, Teresa, she graduated from business school. And then in my career track at that time, the US hotel industry, a lot of the hotels were saturated with those brands already. And then there's limited new developments, right? So I wanted to take my US hotel experience and bring it to China with using the China growth story, right? A lot of the new developments. So for example, recently, this year, I'm working with Intercontinental Hotel Group, IHG, right now. And so we actually brought the Six Senses brand and the Kimpton brand to Beijing. This type of opportunity is much more limited in the US compared to this story in China.
So the national development played a part too?
Yes, definitely.
And it feels like your life right now is fulfilling and rewarding, but I'm sure if you were living and working in the US, your life would be very exciting too. And that would be a whole different world. But I'm curious, though, what are some surprises or joys you think you could only experience by being here in Beijing?
Yeah, so my work at IHG, I travel over, I think, 190,000 kilometers last year. And so I get to see so many different cities in China, and they're all so vibrant, and just feel the vibrancy and the safety.
I saw your family photos, 3 adorable kids, and your wife is Chinese, right?
Yes, she is. She actually lived in China longer than I have. So she grew up in China until she was 16.
And so what's your partnering style like at home?
Yeah, so we still have, they're pretty young 3 young kids. Yeah. Damien is 8, Aaron is 5, and Charlotte is 3 years old.
Boy and girl.
Boy and girl. And they have such different personalities.
No, of course.
Very different. Yeah, so part of our parenting, we actually, during the longer breaks, such as over Chinese New Year, we bring the whole family over to Los Angeles and visit my parents who are still there. And during Chinese New Year, we'll make dumplings at home. My mom's a wonderful cook. And after we make these dumplings, we actually bring it over to celebrate with our fellow neighbors in the US. So I think this is, also part of, sharing the love, sharing the culture.
Yeah, of course. That's a heartwarming. And there are several ways we can promote cultural exchange, just like the alumni events we talked about, and there's the everyday little moments.
Yeah, I mean, so far I've lived in the US for 24 years and in China for almost 15 years. So I think no matter where I will be, I will always try to be the bridge between these two cultures.